Today, we're checking out this brand new microphone that honestly has some pretty cool stuff about it. But where the heck did I even put it? Oh, try that again. There we go. It's the EJoy Uni Pro Microphone. And the cool thing about this microphone is that it is both wireless and wired, which means that if you don't want these messy cables, you could totally just have it wireless and not have to deal with that mess. Because I know I have a rat's nest everywhere over my desk. And number two, since it is both wired and wireless, that means that you can technically record two different sources at the same time using the same microphone, which means you can be recording on your phone if you want to record on your phone, or if you want, you could also plug it into your computer and record on both at the same time, both via the wireless and the wired. And the third feature might shock you, but actually I don't have a third feature, but that does all the stuff that normal microphones do. So why don't we just check it out? So this is the EJoy Uni Pro RGB cardioid condenser microphone. Now that might sound like a mouthful to a lot of you, but if you guys are fans of the channel, you know that I'm not really gonna go over all of the nitty-gritty specifics, but really only the stuff that matters to your everyday human beings. We opened that, saved you some time, and this is all the stuff that comes in it. We got this very nice little desk mount right here. It's like plastic and metal and got that rubber on the bottom. Then we're gonna screw it on there, if you know what I mean later, if you're lucky. Next to that, we got some useless paper that honestly, just get that out of there. We don't need that. Though I will be reading it off later, just to be helpful. But we got our cable right here, which I do love. It's USB-C to USB-A / USB-C. God, I love those things. Those little adapters that are built in are just dope. Plus it comes with one of those little like Velcro ties, which I'm a huge fan of, so love it. So this is the actual microphone itself. I got the white one. As you can see here, it's got a pretty nice design. It does glow RGB lights, which I'll show you in a minute, but that's where you're gonna screw it in nice and tight. And then after that, you can see we have the windscreen available on the front, as well as a couple buttons. So we got the two buttons on the front here. The left one is the power switch, the denoise, and the pairing key. And the right one is for the RGB lights effect switch and also another pairing key. And at the bottom, we got this really nice, slick mic gain knob, and I'm actually a really big fan of it. If you twist it, you'll like love it just as much as I do. And then after that, we have the little suspension mechanism, which if you want, you could take that off. That's basically to help prevent like bouncing and stuff when you like bump into your desk. So then we have the little place that you screw it in, and then you have to make it tighter or not as tight, and so you can bring it up and down. But behind that, we have the little dongle that we're gonna plug into our device, whether it be your smartphone or your computer, and so that's going to give us that wireless capability. And so that's just a little storage place to keep it, so that way if you're not using it, it can be there. But next we have the push to mute button on the top. All you gotta do is tap it and it'll mute, and I'll demonstrate that later. And then we got the USB-C if you wanna charge it, or if you just wanna plug it in and keep it wired. And then we have our monitoring audio jack, so if you wanna listen to yourself and how you sound, you just plug your headphones into that bad boy there. But now I'm just gonna screw it in for you live on YouTube, which hopefully we don't get demonetized for this, but I'll try and make it as seamless as possible. As you can see, I burned myself on my iron not too long ago. You can see that right there. So let's get the screw in action going. That's pretty solid, I'd say. A good solid 8 out of 10, if I do say so myself. Now that it's screwed in properly, we're just gonna put it on the table hopefully soon. No, we're gonna, okay. Nope, you gotta demonstrate that it goes up and down. Great job, Cody, you're doing great. So we're gonna put it on the table, please. Yep, beautiful. And that's how it's gonna look out of the box and all set up. And then if you want, you're gonna charge it like I did. So that way, once it's charged, you'll know that you can use it for between, I think it's 20 hours to 50 hours, 20 hours if you want the lights on and 50 if you don't want the lights on, which in all honesty, I would probably just turn the lights off because it's like 2.5 times as much power, but you know, whatever floats your boat, dude. But now let's actually see what this bad boy sounds like. All right, so this is what the EJoy Uni Pro microphone sounds like. It's about 3 to 6 inches away from my mouth, which, you know, if you need help figuring out how long that is. I know I've made that joke in my other videos, but come on, just let me have this one. But this is using the wireless module, so it's that little dongle that was in the back. I literally just plugged that into my laptop with the USB-C. It connected after, I want to say about a minute. I didn't really have to press anything. All I did literally was charge the microphone. I held down the left button until it turned on, and then it started flashing the blue light slowly, which means that it was pairing with that little dongle, and I literally didn't have to do anything past that. I just had to wait for it to connect. And then so once it's a solid blue light here, that means that it is fully connected, and I was obviously able to use my microphone in the software that I'm using, which happens to be Streamlabs. So after talking for a little bit, you should be able to hear possibly a difference between my microphone that I use for everything else, which is the Rode PodMic USB, and then this microphone right here. Now obviously there is a very big price price difference between the two microphones, and I'll actually look them up for you. So the Rode Pod mic, the one that I was using before, on Amazon goes for $200 brand new, whereas this microphone is currently placed between about $50 to $70 depending on the model that you get. So there's two models. There's the Pro version, which has this wireless capability, and then there's the regular version, which doesn't. So if you're wondering what the Pro is versus not, the Pro is that you can do wireless. So if you want wireless, you get the wireless one. And then they have an A1 and a D1. An A and D is literally just the difference is that I believe the D1 is the one I'm using here for desktop stand, and the A is for a boom arm, and I think it's only like a $5 to $6 difference depending on what you want. So those are the differences between all the different types of models from this microphone. And also I'm noticing as I'm recording this video that every time I'm talking, the RGB lights actually like flash. And then when I stop talking, it stops, which is honestly really cool. And apparently this has about 20 meters of distance. You know, just for S and Gs, I'm just gonna go walk around my little apartment here and just see how far this can go. So if I'm all the way back here, maybe I'm doing a little cooking stream, and you guys can tell that I didn't put on good pants for this, but whatever. Maybe I'm gonna go walk into my bedroom. Like, this is pretty far. I don't know what 20 meters is because I'm a filthy American. They should have set it in feet, and you know, it's been too long since I've been in school, so I don't remember how to convert that. But hopefully the microphone didn't cut out or like have some weird distortion because of the distance. I mean, I was walking around my little one-bedroom house, so I'm fine with it. Also, by the way, I have no idea how this sounds. I haven't even listened to it back yet, and I won't know until I'm editing the video for recording. This is all raw. It's not processed, so it's literally just plug and play. I put it in my recording software, and this is just how it sounds. So I don't have anything crazy. I have the mic gain set at 50%, which is literally just the middle. Now, if we want to try out that denoise feature, we're gonna press that left button there. And so what it's supposed to do is supposed to like suppress the noise in the background, which if you notice, I got this old fan that is really freaking loud. So I'm gonna turn it on without that noise suppression, and we'll see if it actually does anything or helps a little bit. But you guys will be able to judge. So let me turn it on. All right, so I got that bad boy on max, and it's kind of blowing towards it, so you should be able to hear that pretty well. Now, we're going to turn on this noise suppression and see how much it actually helps. I'm not too optimistic on it, but I'm always like to be pleasantly surprised, so let's see. And in order to turn that on, I'm just going to short press the left button, so I'm going to press it once. And now the light turned green, which means that the denoise feature is turned on. Just looking at the little audio meter I have here on the volume, it looks like you can still hear it, but it looks like it's a little bit quieter, so it sounds like it is trying to suppress the noise. I'm wondering if this is going to degrade the quality of my voice with this filter on. So I'm going to turn the denoise feature off, so I'm going to click the button. And this is what it sounds like without that filter. I'm going to turn it on one more time. This is what it sounds like with the denoise filter on. Now, based off of the audio meter, I don't think there's too much of a difference, but maybe you'll be able to hear a difference. So just let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. But as I mentioned earlier, I believe here, let me actually go through the book for you guys. Yeah, it says in the book, the standby time is that if you have the RGB on, it's 20 hours of battery life, but if you have the lights off, it's 50 hours. I mean, I like my RGB lights, but I don't know if I like it 30 hours less worth, so that's a decision you need to make. I'm gonna try turning the lights off. I believe it's just a short press on the right button. Boom, there we go. That actually just changed it, so that's like a fade, so there's different RGB settings. So I'm gonna press it again, and we're gonna press it one more time, and there's just a lot of different light settings here. I just wanna turn it off. I might actually have to long press it. Probably help if you read the book beforehand, eh? Yeah, I'm gonna guess it's a long press. So I'm gonna roll it all the way, and there you go. Yeah, literally I held it for like maybe a second and a half, 2 seconds, and now the RGB lights are off. So like I had mentioned earlier, there is somewhere right here a little headphone jack, which means you can just plug in your little 3.5 millimeter in there. I just moved the mic gain knob with my little finger, so if it sounded weird, that's probably why. But now, if I put this on, I'll be able to hear what I sound like for the first time, and honestly, it sounds pretty good. It sounds like there is a little bit of noise, but in all honesty, sounds pretty good. And it's nice to be able to hear yourself while you're doing this, because let's say you're like way back here and you're just kind of vibing and chilling, but it doesn't sound good because you're so far away. But this is a really good way to monitor and make sure that your mouth is close enough to the microphone so it doesn't sound like absolute dog piss. Now we have that push to mute button on the top. Literally, I'm just gonna finger smack it. So I'm gonna start talking and I'm gonna And so you can tell that it got muted, for me at least, because when you mute it, there's a giant red light on the top. So my opinions on this wireless setting so far is honestly pretty solid, especially for the price point. Now I am going to plug it into my computer and show you guys the wired mode. I don't know if that's going to change the quality of my voice at all or change our opinion on it so far. So let me actually remove the wireless dongle and we're going to plug it in wired and see if that makes a difference, just in case for you guys, because I don't want to have you guys wondering. So I've now inserted the cable inside the microphone, so there's now a direct wired connection between the microphone and my computer. So I don't know if this actually is going to change how I sound. You will be able to tell me after listening to this video, but honestly, I don't think there's going to be that big of a difference. But this would be a good option for you if you're worried about it dying midway through a recording or a stream or whatever you plan on using it for. And for all my audio nerds out there, I'm going to take a screenshot of all the specs of this microphone directly from the manual, as well as a couple other things, and I'll just flash them on the screens. If you want, you can pause the video, and that way you'll get your little nerdy dose of all the specifics down to the different hertz, the different transmitting power, and all that yada stuff that normal people usually don't care about. But I'm going to leave a link for this microphone in the description down below if you want to grab one for yourself. Let me know your honest opinions about this mic in the comments down below, and then continue watching my streaming gear playlist right here. My name's Cody, and I will see you in the next one.